Ready? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. It's Brad, Josh, it's Eric. We got QB rankings, we got tight end rankings, we got some NFL news.
News?
What?
I like how he questioned his own statement.
Do we? I mean, is it news, or did we already know it was going to happen?
No, not all of it. Some of it's news.
Sammy Coates getting cut? That news?
Well, that wasn't really news.
I mean, I messed that up. I was going to say Sammy got cut from Kansas City, and everybody think it was Sammy Watkins.
You did, yeah.
I messed it up.
You blew it.
Oh yeah,
He's take two.
He's going to be a top 10.
Cut it.
receiver
Let's
for
edit
you,
it.
right, Josh, this year.
Sammy Watkins will
Sammy
be the
Wat-
number one receiver.
A top quarterback got signed to his rookie deal. Jared Stidham.
Jared Stidham did. Boom, boom.
The heir apparent.
Is he?
Could be. He's
Heir
Mr.
apparent,
Irrelevant.
12?
He was Mr. Irrelevant in our Dynasty draft. I took him.
Yeah, I'm so glad I traded my last two picks in that dynasty draft.
I already shortened it to 3 picks from now
Yeah.
on because 5 was just too much.
Yeah, because we got cut down.
3
day
rounds
one.
is plenty.
I saw Detective Pikachu tonight.
How was that?
It was fire. It was so good. I loved it so much. It had stuff for the new age people who are getting into it now and the younger kids, and then it had those old school original generation Pokemon for you to be in. So it had
OG
everything.
150.
It had everything.
Nice.
It was incredible.
You had everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. There were some that didn't show up that you were like, what? I can't believe they didn't use that one. I will tell you this. The funniest part of the movie is Mr. Mime. Like, that part.
I saw part of the preview.
That makes sense.
That is so hilarious. Whenever I could not stop laughing. You'll see when you get there. If you guys watch it.
Can't
if
wait.
not, then I'll do some spoiler alerts for you. But yeah. What have you guys been up to? No?
Eric, go ahead.
Not a whole lot of nothing.
Do you wanna
Not doing a lot of research for this podcast. That's what I
Wait,
wasn't
don't
doing.
let them see behind the curtain.
That's what they want to know.
It was a busy week, real busy. But no, I got good reasoning behind how I rank my guys. So.
That's just stupid.
Thank you, Charles.
Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of nothing. A lot of trying to stay awake, boys.
You been tired, bud?
Oh, a little bit.
Well, if you want, you
okay.
can come over here and suck on this robot dick. That might waken you up a little bit.
Robot
A little
wieners.
nicotine for you, big guy.
I like we have our computers plugged in, our mics, and then we have this robot dick sitting on the. It's a vape, but yeah, we have that
It
plugged
was
in
dead,
too.
okay? I needed to charge it.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't mind the beeps, boys. Don't mind the beeps.
All right,
Anyway,
All right.
for our audio listeners, because you're all audio listeners, I'm wearing, because we're doing tight ends tonight, I'm wearing the jersey of one of the greatest, first ballot Hall of Famer. He's back this year, Jay Witt.
Would you say he's a Hall of Fame announcer?
no,
No, absolutely not. No, he was real bad.
I mean, I feel like it would have been like me up there doing it. Like it made it feel like any man could do that job
I feel
because
like-
he makes the same mistakes I'd make up there, bumbling over my words and getting too excited.
Sure, but
I feel like him and Rex Ryan kind of even in that department.
Rex Ryan's real bad.
But I
Rex
think what
Ryan's
we see
old.
the difference is he didn't have a good second person. Like Tony Romo gets all hyped up, but Jim Nance is there to steady the flow.
Well, yeah,
and keep
Jim
him on
Nance
pace.
is, he's a great
If they had a better
play-by-play
second
guy.
dude in there, like an Al Michaels or something to control,
Oh yeah,
it would have been a lot better.
Well, he didn't use like his expertise like Romo does. Like he doesn't like,
he did.
No, he did. He went too crazy into it, and you didn't understand it.
He was talking about blocking all the time,
right.
and I
Nobody
don't
wants
care.
to hear about blocking.
No, that's what I'm saying. He went crazy, like really deep into football that we don't understand and we don't care about.
Right.
Booger's really good because he dumbs it down for you.
He does.
'Cause his name's
And
Booger.
Witten should have done that, like just like the way Romo breaks down the entire play, or like one piece of the play. All he focused on was the tight end and how they blocked. It's like nobody wants to hear about that, Jay Witt. Okay.
Yeah,
but he's back.
He is back.
He's not going to be
out of
good,
retirement,
and neither is Dak. But we're going to
we'll
pay
get
him
into
$30
that here in a
million.
little bit.
Be real sad.
First, let's hit up some news. DK Metcalf came into Pete Carroll and said, "I want number 89." Pete Carroll said that number's already taken. DK Metcalf flexed, and Doug Baldwin is now no longer a Seahawk.
That's how it went down.
That's a meme that's going
Per
around
your
there.
source from Seattle.
No, it's a meme I saw on Facebook. You gotta believe every meme, right? No, it's a meme. It's just got Pete Carroll yelling, "DK, what number you want?" And Metcalf's like 89. He's like, "That number's already taken," and it just shows him again.
Flexing.
Yeah.
He's always flexing though, right?
Oh, yeah,
Like the
I know.
1% body fat version from the combine, right?
Yeah.
The one before that when he was working out and he was just yoked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
The one that made
accidentally
him
flexes.
famous. Like
He's yoked, but immobile.
you don't know
Can't
that.
go side
He's
to
super
side.
mobile.
You
Just
don't know
straight
that.
lines.
He can do it.
Straight line.
That's not what. Speaking of DK, don't be mad mouth name. Pete Carroll said he can run every route, and if we know anything about offseason Pete Carroll, he never lies.
Sure.
Not once that I can remember.
Not once can I remember him lying to me. And the fact that I
Directly
got
to you or just to the public in general?
okay, all right.
All right.
So Doug Baldwin's gone. The Patriots got a couple signings. Josh, you want to take that over?
Well, old man Ben Watson came out of retirement. They have their starting tight end, boys.
What about Austin Sperry-Jenkins? Because they got him too.
They do. They're gonna run the old 2 tight end set like they
Yeah.
did back in the
Take
day.
back to
The
the
murderer,
glory days.
and which one's the partier?
I think Severian Jenkins is a murderer.
That's a
I mean,
accusation.
Ben Watson's been around the league for a while. It came out by now.
Yeah, we would have known. By
I thought he said partier, not
yeah.
murderer.
He
I
said
said
partier and murderer.
Because it was
Oh,
the
and
Aaron
murder.
Hernandez.
Yeah,
Gronk.
Ben Watson could probably shake a rug, but I think we don't know enough about ASJ yet. I'm just saying we got to peel back that curtain.
He's already had issues as well.
Yeah, it's like an onion. You got to peel back the layers.
I don't know why they
Yeah,
didn't
like an
draft
ogre.
it. I know,
Like
I know
an
N'Keal
ogre.
Harry was a good pick,
Layers.
but like they could have drafted a good tight end though at 32.
No, they needed to take a
No, but
wide
big
receiver.
Kill another
Ben
receiver's
Watson's there.
career.
I don't think he's in any of our tight end ranks because this news came out as we were doing rankings. We
And
might
then
update it. We'll see.
And then they signed the former Charger, Dontrell Inman.
Yeah, wide receiver.
Dontrell.
They needed another
Is
one
he
of
gonna be
those.
a Pro Bowl type wide receiver because that's what they do is just take wide receivers and make them good for a few weeks?
It lets me know that 2 or 3 of these guys that they've signed are not going to be on the roster, like Demaryius Thomas.
Well, you don't. Last year they had no running backs and they had problems with wide receivers on the roster.
Yeah, I think they're trying to do something similar to San Francisco, where they just add depth because they know this roster's older and they're going to have some injuries.
And the good thing is that if they take these guys, they use them, they can put them on the practice squad or something like that, and then they know the playbook a little bit better, and they can help their team out whenever someone inevitably gets hurt or suspended. Josh Gordon's still a part of this team too, by the way, guys.
Yeah, he's trying to get back in the league.
He is.
That's such a gamble, though.
He is.
Well, that's why they're signing other wide receivers.
Right, exactly. They're adding depth, waiting for the suspensions, waiting for him to possibly come back, and the inevitable injuries.
All I can say is you
always
better-
plagues them.
Yeah, you better draft you some Julian Edelman this year, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of, he's free in the Dynasty League, so if you might listen to this in the Dynasty League, all it takes is a second round pick, boys.
I'll give you a third.
Yeah, ain't happening.
Yeah. Potato, tomato.
There's ADP in some mock drafts. I
Speaking
know,
of
it's
the
like
Dynasty
fourth,
League.
fifth round. So
We teased Eric with this before the show.
Oh, yeah.
Made a trade because we got to cut down like 7 people.
And you traded away what some people would perceive to be a very good player. I think you could have got more.
I could have maybe got more, but this is a team that was pretty bad last year. Could be bad again this year.
If he starts the guy you traded him, it's not going to be great.
Yeah. Traded Amari Cooper for a next year first round and a next year third round.
I like it.
Because I needed to cut down, so I'm going to have to cut people that I'm questionable about anyway. So
I don't like Cooper, so I think that's a great trade.
I think he could have got more, is what I'm saying, though. I think he
might
could have.
have been able to, but I think maybe I could have got way into the future stuff. I would have been talking a lot more into negotiation, had the deal on the table.
But now you're going to have 2 first rounders next year.
Yeah, and 2 second rounders and 2 third rounders.
You got another second rounder?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Where'd you
Yeah,
get
The good old Shane train.
Where'd you trade him?
I have no idea, but I have a second round pick.
But I clicked
traded
that button.
when I traded with Curran traded him a second round pick, and I got it from Pat. I don't know. It's crazy.
So you have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2
2
thirds.
thirds next year.
That's bananas.
So
You
I could move up.
You
I'm
could
making-
package though, like an extra second and a third, and get another first round pick.
That's the plan.
Yeah, I like it.
That's what I did last year. Dude, I had
Going
3
all
first rounders. If you got to hit on one of them.
So now, if there's somebody I don't want to cut, and I'm trying to get another first round pick, I can take a lower player and a second rounder and turn it into another first round pick and get 30 first round picks.
You got to hit on one of
Yeah,
them.
in terms of dynasty, Amari, like
He's
if he
young,
doesn't
though.
get a deal done now, he's on a contract. Like he's playing for a contract, so he might have a good year.
And
he
the
probably
reason,
will.
The reason I could do this is I have Odell, I have Brandon Cooks, I have Chris Godwin, who I'm high on this year. I got Mike Williams from the Chargers, who I'm really high on. I have a bunch of young guys that can step up and take that, and I have 2 solid guys to start. So it was an easy for me to get rid of.
Yeah, no, that's a
And I
good
still have
trade.
Julian Edelman as well too to throw in there.
I also think after Amari gets paid, he's going to be crap. So
Well, he's crap anyway. He has
I agree.
He has a couple big games. You got to hit the big games, and he'll kill you on all the other games. Mm-hmm. All right, let's slide into the other side of the receivers, the tight ends, boys. The most exciting position to draft.
The tightest of ends.
The tight ends. So, you two had the same first. I did not take him first because I felt like it was too easy.
It's about whether or not it's accurate.
Yeah.
But is it? You guys had the good-looking guy, the Greek god,
He's very good looking.
the Travis Kelce.
He looks like Thor.
The not
does
not
kind of
afraid to
Thor.
punch you in the wiener, Travis Kelce. Because he always usually has one like
Who did he punch in the wing?
I don't know. He like tries to push people up, but he does it with his fist when they get on him. Sometimes when he gets upset, when he's having a bad game.
It's a good old crotch shot.
He's had about I think he's been at least kicked out or suspended from every game with the last.
It's good
years.
for him. It's good for you.
But it just shows that he's playing with passion. Right, leaving on the field. So Travis Kelce, anything you want to say about this? Do you guys worry that the Tyreek Hill thing may negatively affect him?
I think it could positively affect him.
Well, because Tyreek Hill kept the defense honest and deep.
Yeah, but they drafted the rookie Mecole Hardman,
We saw
who's super fast. Even if he's not going to be catching a lot of passes, he can get out there and run around.
Yeah.
But we saw last year when Tyreek Hill was out, Travis Kelce's numbers were good, but they weren't what we've seen before with him there.
Which is also why Sammy Coates will benefit.
And do you think that
Eric?
do you think that defenses are going to play Patrick Mahomes differently? I mean, saw a lot from Patrick Mahomes, but now they have a full year of film. NFL defenses do, and they do adjust. Right, this is a league of adjustments.
I'm with you on that, but I think Andy Reid innovates every year. I think
Yeah,
he'll
that
add,
Waffle
he'll
House
add some
menu
more
only gets
wrinkles
bigger.
to keep defenses on their toes. And I think Kelsey's still going to get his. Even if he's 80% as good as he was last year, he's probably almost a TE1.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have a problem with Ertz here.
Yeah.
They're basically a wash in terms of numbers, and if you
I
think
had
Ertz is
Kelsey
going to
too.
be there,
I had
yeah.
Kelsey too, guys. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Number 2 and number 3 are tied, but number 2 this guy gets the bump because you guys both had him at 2. I had him at 3. It is Zach.
My Zach
Ertz.
Ertz. Yeah. Easy.
Injury issues are the biggest concern with him,
Yep,
No.
for sure.
and his quarterback injury concerns. But that's why I'm meaning injuries. It's both
No
sides.
Nicky Foles to bail you out next
Well,
year.
even Nick Foles did not go to him that much.
That's
Carson Wentz relies on him a lot more. Dallas Goedert is also in the wings as the other tight end there. I'm just saying,
If you get either one of these, any one of these top 3 guys, you're going to be happy.
and Zach Ertz, he's great. Especially in PPR, he's ridiculous when Wentz is there because he's good for 5 to 12 catches a game.
Yeah, I know. Looking at this, doing the research that I did do, 9.75 targets a game. Like he's getting the opportunities. I had 116 receptions last year. That's amazing for a tight end. That's great.
Yeah, there's nothing you worry about.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
the injury concerns.
Number 3. I had him at number 1. You both had him at number 3. George Kittle. I actually thought you guys were copying things when I got this far. I was like, are you guys, because your top 4 are all the same. I was like, are they copying each other's ranks? Okay. But George Kittle. The Jimmy Garoppolo thing does worry me a little bit. But with subpar quarterback play, no healthy wide receivers, and being hurt most of last year, playing through injuries, he had a great year. He was amazing last
He had
year.
an amazing year. What did he have? Was it sternum, ribs? What was it? Something in the chest.
He had a shoulder to start the season. Then he had rib injuries, chest injuries. We'll say chest. It was.
Dude's a gamer. He's gonna get his.
Gotta get that.
Anything you want to add with the good old Kittles?
Some of his production did come off of a few big games, so that's something to be aware of. He's not going to be as consistent as Kelsey and Ertz. Kelsey had a couple dud games.
No, but I'm thinking if Garoppolo is the quarterback we think he is, which would be better than the McMullins or whoever he had out there.
CJ Beathard.
CJ Beathard, Mullins. Like, he had quarterbacks we would not even think would be starting in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's something to keep an eye on. I'm not saying that he's going to regress to the point where he's going to be terrible, but it is relevant.
No, I'd say he's still in the top 5, even if he does regress.
In
a little
PPR,
bit.
he is
No,
actually.
yeah.
He takes a hit to Ertz because Ertz catches so many more balls than him. All right, number 4. You both had him at 4. You all want to say it?
Eric
Ebron.
I had him at 6. I think
That's my name.
those touchdowns, there's no way those touchdowns stay where they were. They're going to fall down. There's going to be regression to those touchdowns.
Oh yeah, sure. 13
And that's what
last
he
year.
and that's what he lived off of last year.
Still gets a volume though. He gets almost 7 targets a game, catches 4 or 5 of them. So
Do you think Jack Doyle, if he comes back healthy, will affect it at all?
Jack Doyle is still actually a little bit banged up, and he might even miss the first month of the season. Jack Doyle could be on his way out.
But Ebron was also banged up a lot last year too.
I mean, he's been banged
Who was
up
the
his
other?
entire
Mo
career.
Alley Cox? What about Mo Alley?
He's a blocking tight end
Who caught some touchdowns.
because he's as big as 3 offensive linemen.
And he caught some touchdowns.
He's a very large gentleman.
Is he a vulture? Would you say he's a vulture?
No.
Oh, he did vulture a couple games.
Handcuff?
He's
No.
no.
All right, number 5.
This is where things got a little dicey.
This is where we're going to switch them up. This actually, Eric, me and you had the same number 5.
I don't remember who I put there.
I know you don't. Josh, you had him at number 7. Do you remember who you had at number 7?
Hunter Henry?
No. E.
That's Eric Ebron.
No. Evan Ingram also.
Evan Ingram. Yeah.
Yeah. We went E.
At 5Zs?
At 5Zs. Evan Ingram. So Odell's gone. Yeah, they have Golden Tate. Yeah, they have Sterling Shepard. They have Saquon Barkley. But I think he's the best receiver they have there.
Oh, yeah.
Talent.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say Saquon's probably the best overall talent wide receiver, but
I hope those touchdown numbers come up this year. I hope he gets some more red zone targets. I think he will now that Odell's not there.
what about this? What if the rookie they drafted starts getting some starts? Is it sell every Giant you have? Not named Saquon Barkley?
Oh, if
Yeah, we can't think of his name.
what's his name? Jones?
Danny
Danny
Jones.
Jones?
Daniel Jones from Duke.
If he starts,
Are we dropping every...
if he's starting, I play wait and see. And
So-
see who because all these rookies tend to find one guy that they really like, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it is maybe it's Ingram, maybe it's Sterling Shepard, maybe it's Golden Tate.
Yeah.
If he starts, wait and see, maybe see who gets has a good 2 games and then go from there.
So
But I don't like Jones.
Odell missed, the last 4 games?
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence that those 4 games were Evan Ingram's? He didn't have a game that was worse than that all year?
No.
Those were his best games
Yeah.
all year.
And we saw it the year prior when
When
Odell was out.
Odell was also out then,
That was his amazing year. He had put up great rookie numbers.
the lowest yardage that he had in those 4 games was 75. And in that game, he had 8 receptions. So before that, the highest yardage that he had was 67. So what I'm seeing here is that Evan Ingram could even jump Ebron, but
in PPR.
we have. But the issue was Daniel Jones.
Yeah, it does
For me,
Daniel
that-
Jones, yeah,
that
does
was the
Daniel
issue.
Jones come in there. If it's Eli, we know Eli's not throw. He'll close his eyes and sling that ball down there.
Yeah, then I do expect Daniel Jones, especially because the Giants are going to be terrible. I do expect Daniel Jones to get some playing time, and that's going to affect all pass catchers, except maybe Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Security blanket.
No, I think Evan Ingram could have a bounce back year. We saw an amazing rookie year. We saw a bad sophomore year. This could be a great third year. Gets it together. But the Daniel Jones of it all scares me a little bit.
But rookie QBs do like to throw over the middle of the field. They like to throw
The
where they
safe-
can see
yeah.
the safe slants, the ins, stuff like that, or dump it off to your running back. So I think Saquon and Ingram are probably your safest guys on that team.
And on a per game basis, he was the 5th best tight end in the NFL in PPR.
Yeah, because he missed a lot of games.
He missed 5 games, but on a per game basis, he was the 5th best.
Yeah, speaking of per game basis, our next guy at number 6, who, Eric, you had him at 6. Josh, you had him at 8. And I had him all the way up at 4 because I think this guy, in his third year in the league, will have a great year. OJ, don't call me the Juice, Howard.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see what Arians does with him. I mean, we kind of talked about this a little bit before the show, but, I mean, I just don't like Jameis, but OJ Howard has the talent.
That's a rocket ship taking off. That's the OJ Howard. Jump on
So
it.
you're driving the bandwagon for OJ.
Oh, I'll jump on it now,
All right.
yeah.
I love his talent.
He's the most talented person. We saw good Jermaine Gresham years with Arians.
For Jermaine Gresham.
That's what I'm saying. And OJ Howard's way more talented, correct?
Oh, yeah. I'm not denying that.
So we said that he doesn't like to use his tight ends, but he never really had a tight end. He didn't like to use his running backs until he got to DJ. You know, Arians never had a good running back until David Johnson showed up. Kurt Warner led them in rushing a few games back in the day. So
That was before Bruce Arians showed up.
no,
Yes, it was.
was it? Oh, that's Ken Wisenhunt, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Ken Wisenhunt. Bruce Arians was,
defensive-minded.
whenever he was the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, he did okay.
Yeah.
And then when he was the offensive coordinator for the Colts that year,
Well, he's head coach.
and then Chuck Pagano got cancer, and then he head coached him all the way into the playoffs. Yeah, I think he's
Yeah, with Andrew Luck. But it really wasn't a big running back game. Who was the
you
running
worry
back?
about
Who was the
King?
running back that year? Exactly.
You worry about Cameron Braid at all? Anybody?
Not
Little, tiny bit?
not really.
He's not. No.
No, not gonna be.
I think because we that was the thing before, but Brake Vulture a couple touchdowns. I don't really see it.
Don't draft Cameron Brake.
I agree. Just for the sake of conversation.
Don't even.
No, I mean, is it a thing
Throw him in the dumpster.
that may don't draft him, but it may affect OJ Howard of it all.
Find your closest dumpster, and that's where you should throw him.
All right, Josh, you were the highest on this guy, even though you did not rank him to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
Almost Triple H, Hunter Henry.
Oh, Triple H. Double H.
Double H.
Hurst, Helms.
That's really close.
Hunter Henry is.
Josh, you had him at 5. I had him at 8. Eric had him at 10. He could have played in the playoff games. He was active for the playoff games last year.
But that ACL.
So I'm saying, like, he's coming on. Like, it's not like he's still coming back from injury. He
This
was
is
back and active.
his third year in the league as well. And I expect a big jump out of production from him. I think Hunter Henry is going to be a top 5 tight end. Without a shadow of doubt. I do believe that.
Yeah. Do you think this will negatively impact the wide receivers there in San Diego or the running backs? Because Melvin Gordon got a lot of passing game work.
I think that's what's going to hurt the most.
The touchdowns that Melvin Gordon was catching.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to affect Keenan Allen as much. If anyone affects Keenan Allen, it will be Mike Williams in his third year. But I do think Hunter Henry, because they went to Melvin Gordon a lot whenever there should have been a tight end on the field, and Antonio Gates is just not fast or useful. So he
No,
Not anymore.
no, he's a
sorry.
he's like Shaq, and then he just goes in there and boxes out and tries to get.
And then he
the
just
ball
falls
down.
back on his back. And he's like, "Ooh,
Yep.
someone help me!" Remember when he was the big clover or whatever it was when he played for Boston? It was all anyway. Yeah,
Or
Hunter Henry.
witness protection with the Cavs.
Oh my gosh, it was all bad.
The
Yeah.
big Aristotle.
Yes,
Shaq.
Hunter Henry. I like Hunter Henry a lot, and you might be able to get him on the cheap because people might have forgotten about him.
Like you.
Yeah, like me.
I mean, this is what you got to look for.
Yeah, doing my homework for this, I saw him ranked very highly by a lot of the big outlets. Honestly, I probably ranked him this low because I don't watch a lot of Chargers games, and I don't know Phil Rivers' history with tight ends. So, does he use them a lot? I feel like
You've never heard of Antonio Gates.
And the fact that he'll be a first ballot Hall
But
of Famer?
Antonio Gates was great, right? Hunter Henry is not Antonio Gates coming out.
He was a first round pick. Antonio Gates wasn't a first round pick.
Antonio Gates was a basketball player.
He took Kent State.
There was a
to
lot
the
of
Elite
hype
Eight.
around him.
I can't.
There was a lot of hype around him that first year because they were like, "Oh, he's got basketball skills." He's like,
I'm just really glad we
he's
replaced.
gonna
Pat.
go up box out,
All right,
and
so
be great.
let's move on before we get all crazy with it.
I'm glad we replaced Pat with Pat.
At number 8, we got David Njoku. It went Eric 9, Josh 10, me 11.
David Njoku.
I honestly worry about the Odell. We talked about Eric Ebron, how Odell affected him.
Why have we not mentioned Trey Burton yet?
Oh, don't worry. He's
Because nobody
way
cares.
down there.
Really?
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Didn't even rank.
Man.
The tray of it all.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, well, he just finished as the 8th tight end last year, so no big deal.
Didn't
Anyway, go ahead about your stupid
David Njoku.
David Njoku.
You had him at 10, Josh. You have him at a tight end.
Yeah,
1.
he finished as 9, so I felt that was appropriate.
I have him at 11.
I have him at 9.
So,
Appropriate.
I think he'll have a couple good games, but I think it's going to be very sporadic.
Yep. There's too many mouths to
Odell's
feed there.
getting doubled.
Well, that's just going to open up for Jarvis.
But Odell got doubled with Evan Ingram there. I think Evan Ingram's better than David Njoku.
Yeah, but Baker's better than Eli right now.
Oh, he's so good.
So
You'll see in my
So that means he'll.
rankings
Yeah, okay.
how much I like Baker.
Okey-dokey.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
At number. I gotta do this right here. Okay, one less. Number 9. We have Trey Burton. Josh, take it away.
I don't need the... Okay, well...
You get the love music.
His second year playing under the Matt Nagy system, he already finished as number 8. A lot of that was because he had touchdowns.
Catching touchdowns on the goal line.
Yeah, because he will throw them too.
No, the little 1 yard, little shuffle pass touchdowns.
It's still a touchdown.
But you get an extra point for it being a receiving touchdown.
PPR, bingo. Little shovel pass. Yeah, it was a play they ran a couple times. I think that they're going to be able to utilize him a little bit more. Mitch Trubisky will be a better quarterback this year, I'm hoping, with another year of Matt Nagy. And I expect the offense all around to take a jump, and it wouldn't surprise me if Trey Burton stays where he's at.
Okay, you have him at 6. Now I'm going to flip it over to a guy who has him 11 spots lower. Eric.
Who, me?
Yeah, Trey Burton.
Yeah, he doesn't get the volume that these other guys do. He lived off the touchdowns.
Who gets more volume than him?
Pretty much everybody on my list.
Like,
We'll just compare it to the next guy, Jared Cook, who, Eric, you had him at 8. Josh, you said, I hate Jared Cook. He can go off and die at 19.
it's fair.
So, Eric, tell us why Jared Cook's better than Trey Burton. We'll just compare the two.
6 targets a game, 896 yards last year, 6 touchdowns.
And he gets the best quarterback
6
he's ever played
touchdowns, 569.
He was so good that the team who gave him those numbers didn't want to re-sign him.
with. Yeah, so he
Yeah,
went
because
to
they
a better
drafted a
team.
new tight end.
No, he wanted more money. He said, I am your best receiver for the last 2 years. Not just last year, the last 2 years I've led your team in
Adam
receptions.
Thielen really fell off them last 8 games. I know.
Huh?
I had him on the team.
Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen.
When's the last
Oh, no,
time?
I'm thinking Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah,
Excuse
I'm
me.
When's the
Jared
last
Cook.
time
Jared
that
Cook.
Jared
the
Cook, my
Saints
bad on the Raiders,
used?
yeah.
When's the last time the Saints used a tight end?
Ben
outside
Watson.
of- Ben Watson wasn't a top 5 tight end when he was with them.
The tight end / quarterback that they have run plays.
Taysom
Boom.
Hill,
They use
not
him.
a top 5 tight end.
But they use him. You said use a tight end.
You didn't let me finish my
Boom.
sentence. That's what I was saying.
No, I
You
had
didn't
to stop you because it doesn't make sense. I thought.
Okay, well, the last guy was Jimmy Graham.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
Yeah, Jimmy Graham. Was Jimmy Graham good there?
he was.
Washed.
But then was Jimmy Graham?
He
good
was
in the
good there.
Saints?
But
Once upon a
are you
time.
saying that Jared Cook at 32 years old is as good as Jimmy Graham when
No,
he
but
was
could he
25?
be the number 2 wide receiver there? Could he be the number 2 receiver there behind Michael Thomas? Because they had no. Alvin Kamara was their number 2 last year. Could he be the number 2 receiver there? Would you take the number 2 receiver in a Drew Brees offense?
No,
I think you guys would. I think
like him.
I wouldn't.
last year, didn't you have the number 2 tight end on the Saints for a little bit? What was the other guy? What was the dude's name who we thought was going to be number 2, but he was terrible?
No, I
Not
didn't.
Tommy Lee. You know, I love me some Tommy Lee out there.
No, I did not.
But people are going to take him. He's going to be good. I think he'll be a top 10.
The last time a tight end for the Saints had a great game was Kobe effing Fleener. Do you remember that game?
Yeah. Do you think he's better? You don't think he's better than Kyle Rudolph? Who?
No.
There was news about Kyle
No,
Rudolph,
I
wasn't
don't.
there?
Not in this offense. I don't.
There was news about Kyle Rudolph. Wasn't there? When we were talking about it?
Yep.
What was it?
Josh said it.
He is on the trade block because the contract extension talks broke down.
Okay. So Kyle Rudolph might not
And
be
the
there.
Patriots are going to love having him.
And
I'm
with-
sure.
I don't even think they'll go after him.
With
They got Ben Watson.
Kirk Cousins have the best receiving core he's ever had. He looks to his receivers more than he does tight ends. Everybody thought Rudolph would be good because
Jordan Reed was good.
Jordan Reed was good. Everybody thought, oh, he loves tight ends. No, we just realized that the Redskins wide receivers were doo-doo. Like, he isn't afraid to throw the ball down the field to somebody who can catch a jump ball when they can catch a jump ball. So Kyle Rudolph, I hate talking about him. Somebody I was a little surprised that, Josh, you had him in your top 10 was Noah Fant, Times New Roman.
Fant.
Fanta? Do you want a Fanta? Do you
Fant.
want
Like
a
cake.
Fanta? Do you want
Nope.
a Fanta?
Noah Fant.
Okay, tell me why you want a Fanta.
Well, there's not a lot of competition there for him in Denver. And last year, before Joe Flacco got hurt and Lamar Jackson took over in the Baltimore offense, this gentleman by the name of Mark Andrews was cruising his way to a tight end 1 finish, which isn't that difficult to attain now these days, let's be honest, right? So Mark Andrews actually still finished 17th, just 5 spots out, and that was after Lamar Jackson came in and ruined things. And I hate to say it, but Noah Fant is a better receiving tight end than Mark Andrews. If you don't like it, sorry, blow it out your ass. Now, I just don't see how.
Invasion of the Fantanas.
Oh, I like that.
I feel like I'm at cinema before the movie starts.
I like that. I like that. Okay, yeah.
So
So
sponsor us.
I really do believe Noah Fant's going to be a number 1 tight end this year. I think Joe Flacco is going to use him that way. And like I said, Jake Butt is the only guy who's on the team, and he's been injury prone his first few years in the league. So
How many rookie tight ends have finished as tight end ones in the last 10
one.
years? Okay. So it's just something to think about when we look at the past of it.
But also last year, it was easier to get into the top 12 of tight ends in fantasy football than it has been in like the past 10, 15
And how many
years.
rookie tight ends were in there?
None.
And it was the easiest it ever been. Okay. Thank you. I rest my case.
Austin Hooper was 6th
Lawyer.
overall.
Lawyer.
Just about to say that.
Lawyered.
Lawyer. Big fudge. Big fudge out.
Sounds like a future Josh problem.
So I don't really want to go into this too deep.
I'm right, and I know it.
A little people had surprising. Eric, Delaney Walker, you can tell me why you have him at 11. Neither one of me and Josh like him, so just tell me why you like Delaney Walker.
I love Delaney Walker.
Okay.
I've had him on several fantasy teams. Consistent presence every year. You know what you're going to get him. I know he was injured last year, but usually plays all 16 games. And Mariota looks for him in the red zone. Looks for him all over the field because Mariota can't throw it anywhere else because he's bad.
Well, he can't feel his fingertips.
Right. So even more reason for me to think Delaney Walker's going to have a bounce back year. Be a top 12.
Bingo.
Sorry. Okay, cool. I just wanted to bring him up.
Love you, Delaney.
That'll be the end of the tight ends. Really nobody else in there. We have like Austin Hooper, Jimmy Graham's, Vance McDonald's, Greg Olson's, TJ Hawkinson's, Chris Herndon's, and Mike Gesicki's to talk about, but who cares? They will all probably go undrafted.
After 6 or 7.
Jimmy Graham will probably get drafted, but whatever.
Off of name recognition.
Yeah. After 6 or 7, this felt like 15 through 22 on our running backs. They're all pretty close. It's that log jam. They're all going to get roughly the same.
Calm down. Don't get a big dick.
Nobody cares about tight ends. Let's just stop.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
Let's get into the big boy stuff. QBs, right?
Okay. Here we go.
We'll see how far we go in QBs. We all ranked about 17 to 18. We'll see how far we get. If you're in a 1 QB league, you know me and Josh don't take QBs early. I don't know. Eric probably takes QBs in the first round because reasons.
No.
Oh, for sure
just
he
kidding.
does.
I like to wait till the
kidding.
6th round. I like to wait till about the 6th round.
Yeah, and you get that quarterback, and you can just do this.
Last year,
You get that late round quarterback like Patrick Mahomes last year, who was late round and killed it.
got him on my Fun League team.
Yeah,
Best decision I ever
so late. You get him so late. So speaking of Patrick Mahomes, you both had him at 1. I played contrarian and put him at 2. I think Tyreek Hill will affect him a lot.
I think it will a little bit, yeah.
I think his
Is
second
he
year.
officially suspended yet?
There's nothing going on with that. But even being the second year in the league, defenses watching him. He did a lot of stuff last year that normally we would be like, oh my God, it's so stupid. Why would you do that? Throwing with his left hand, no look passes. Stuff that, yes, it worked. But it doesn't usually work.
Should it have?
Because he's
Yeah.
a freak of nature.
Yeah, and no, he has a cannon for an arm.
No, and the angles he can throw from too. I mean, not a lot of guys can do
And
that.
he has a great offensive coach.
He does.
Which
4
helps out.
points per game better than the next guy. So even if he regresses, and he will regress,
Yes.
we're not arguing that, he's still going to be a top
And the
quarterback.
price is going to be ridiculous for him. He's probably going to go in your second round,
Which
maybe
is
in your first round.
Stupid.
Yeah, I would never
Yeah.
draft QB.
No, you
Stupid.
won't. But somebody in your league will.
Oh yeah, and that's
And-
fine. They
Stupid.
can. I'll take another running back. Thanks.
Exactly. And a guy
Stupid.
that I put at number 1, you both had him at number 2, Mr. Andrew Luck. The arm is fine. There's no more question marks about the arm.
Love Andy Luck.
Eric, you weren't here last year when we were doing quarterback rankings, but I was really low on Andrew Luck because of the arm. I mean, I took him in our dynasty league, but I backed him up with Patrick Mahomes and Mitchell Trubisky because I was like, I don't know what that arm is going to be.
No,
So I
that's
figured-
very understandable. You don't know what he's throwing like. You don't know what he's going to look like in their offense.
Because he wasn't throwing the
You don't
Duke.
know if he's going to stay upright. I know they rebuilt that offensive line, but are they going to mesh? Are they actually going to keep him upright for a change?
Yeah. And will defenses figure out that offensive line?
Right. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot
the
of
running-
variables last year, a lot to worry about for sure.
They
But
added Paris Campbell, who I think will help out a lot with another weapon out there, along with T.Y. Hilton. We talked about Eric Ebron,
Marlon Mack.
Marlon Mack,
Mac attack.
Naheem Hines. He has his weapons. He's not afraid to throw the ball.
And something you
He's
like to
amazing.
bring up, Brad, is that if he throws it to somebody and they drop it, he ain't afraid to go back to them.
No, he's not. That's why Eric Ebron was good. All right, number 3. which really surprised me that Josh is ranking. Deshaun Watson. Me and Eric both had him at 3, and Josh said, "I hate you, Deshaun. You could be at number 4. You stinky."
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
I think the only thing we worry about with Deshaun Watson is getting killed.
He
Because
might
of the offensive
die.
line.
He might die on the
He has Nuke. If Will Fuller the 5th stays healthy, he can get it to him.
You
has
can see
his
some
weapons.
rushing touchdowns with him too, which is always nice. So
Well, because he has to,
because he has to run for his life because that offensive line is still terrible.
and he still plays in a division with an improved Colts defense, Jacksonville defense, which we can say they were down, but they still are good.
Well, one of their best linebackers just decided he was going to take the year off. So
Yeah, but still, they still have pass rushers on the team. Okay, so Deshaun Watson, nobody really worried about that one.
no, I think it's going to be just
Up
fine.
next is Matthew Ryan. He is number 4 for us. Eric has him at 7. Josh, you have him at 5. Your number 3 guy's going to take a little bit to get to because somebody poo-pooed all over the bed on him.
That's fine.
And I had him at 4 for Matt Ryan. He got Julio. He's got weapons.
He does.
He gets his old offensive coordinator back, which I think we kind of said, oh, change the offensive coordinator. But this is Dirk Cutter, who he had some of his best years under.
Yeah, it is a little bit different. Upon looking at it, I was like, Matt Ryan in a system he's familiar with. Most of the time, whenever he switches, he struggles that first year, and he's a lot better the year
Sarkisian
after.
says, oh, hey.
But Sarkisian got him all the way to the second quarterback overall in fantasy last year. It was just the defense was bad for Atlanta. But they decided to go ahead and clear house. Fine, whatever. Do what you got to do. But yeah, bringing back Dirk Cutter, I think Matt Ryan's going to have a chance to be very successful.
I think it'll be a top 10 guy. I'm just not as high on him as I am some other guys.
Yeah, like the next guy who you love, the highest paid quarterback in the league, Russell Wilson.
Russell, hustle, and bustle.
You got him at 4. Josh 9, me 7. Josh doesn't like him. He screwed up our podcast league team last year, so he doesn't like him.
He's so efficient.
He is super efficient.
So did I have him at?
What?
What did I have him at?
9.
That's where he belongs.
He threw 34, 35 touchdowns last year, and now
He
he's
did.
got DK
But we talked
Metcalf
about
to
that.
sling it to. So
He was the most efficient
DK.
and
quarterback.
Dougie Fresh is gone. He's not taking any of those targets away from Tyler Lockett this
Ooh,
year.
and Tyler Lockett will be a top 17 wide receiver.
It's just a haircut. I don't care.
Just a haircut. It won't be as good as your flat top, I don't think.
You never know. DK might take all those touchdowns. You might have to worry about it.
Oh, man. But Russell Wilson, yeah. I think he's going to go too high in drafts. You're probably going to get Matt Ryan before him. Just something to think about when you're drafting because he still goes high because of the name value. And the fact that he signed a big deal, people are going to take him on.
I love Russell Wilson because he can run too.
Yes.
If it really comes down to it, he can get out of
But
the
his
pocket.
rushing
with his
numbers were
legs.
down last
He
year,
can
weren't
run
they, Josh?
downfield. So
They
they
were.
were.
Numbers up?
What?
You got his rushing numbers up from last year. They were down compared to his previous years.
For sure.
But he was so efficient through the year that he didn't need to run because he was throwing the ball 7 times for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had one big game where he ran for 92 yards. The next one was 61 and then 57. So he only had 3 big games where he was running. The rest of them were 20 yards or less. So he didn't do a lot of that. Only 376 yards rushing last year.
And I know we kind of talked about DK Metcalf not being able to maybe run all the routes, but I think he can do what Jimmy Graham did a couple years ago at worst.
Big target for the red zone too.
Yes.
So
That was his second lowest amount of rushing yards that he's had in this entire career.
Yeah. All right, next up is Josh's number 3, Eric's number 13, my number 5, Aaron Rodgers. Price check, double check.
I think this is a personal vendetta.
I think it is a little bit.
it slightly is.
And I will say this. Other than Devontae Adams, he doesn't trust any of his wide receivers. We'll see if one more year in that offense changes it.
MVS, dude.
You know, I love a guy that everybody talks bad about after they leave the team. That's the guy I want on my fantasy squad for sure.
It doesn't mean that I don't care about that.
Big Ben, you have him hired.
I do.
So
Okay, no. Here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing.
I think he's a
Rodgers.
bigger jerk than Aaron
I
Rodgers.
was
They're
like, hold
both
on.
jerks.
Big Ben.
Here's the thing with Aaron Rodgers for me.
He hurt your
So,
feelings.
One, he killed my team last year because I tried to get cute and I took him in like the 3rd or the 4th round, which is the only time I've ever done that with a QB.
Well,
Because
you
I
live
thought,
and you
yeah,
learn.
I'm gonna get Aaron here and
No, you live and you learn.
crush everybody. I did not.
No,
But
you did not.
what is it? Two broken collarbones now?
Yes.
I think that was 3.
He's what 30?
And he had a knee issue.
35.
He had a knee issue last year.
Yeah, he had that nasty little knee thing at the beginning of the season, right there, first game, right? I think it was the second quarter. It was like, oh, my season's over.
And he still
pretty much.
came back and won that game. But yeah.
Yeah, no, he did. But I think he's I think he's done.
I think the young wide receivers, if him and the young wide receivers work this offseason and have better idea, because he likes to ad-lib back there. Very similar to what Russell Wilson does. The problem was he was mad at his wide receivers for, why didn't you know what I didn't tell anybody I was going to do?
Yeah, you're supposed to read my mind.
Yes, you were supposed to know where to go. And they're like, oh, I ran my route. Sorry, I didn't realize that.
So you bringing up young receiving core. These guys get less and less time now in the offseason to work together. OTAs are shorter, mini camps, all that stuff shorter. They don't get as much time on the field together. I don't think they're going to gel with him. Adams might, because he's been there for a while, but other than that.
He played in 16 games last year, only had 25 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yes. His numbers were way low last year. They were bad.
I mean, that was
new offense. We'll see what
horrendous.
that means too.
I don't trust it. I don't like it.
Yeah, he was on a horrible pace last year.
Aaron.
He also had the second lowest completion percentage of his entire career.
Yeah, I'm not going after him because he's still going to get drafted high because he has a name value. He's in all the State Farm
And I
commercials.
will gladly thank anybody who drafts him high.
All right, next up we have Drew Brees, who actually they're both ranked 7 over, when you do average it out. But Drew Brees is actually the 7th. Eric, you had him 8, Josh 7, me 6. Drew Brees, what do you really say about him? I mean, 2 years ago he had a very, very bad year. They were a full run first offense. But last year, defenses played the run, and Drew Brees said, hey, guys, I still know what the heck I'm doing.
I think for me, the issue with Drew Brees and why I had him ranked low for him realistically is because he didn't have those huge games that you come to expect from Drew Brees. He kind of faded away towards the end of the season. They did more of managing the offense as opposed to letting the offense be their strength last year.
Well, and teams started realizing double Michael Thomas, these other receivers aren't going to beat us. That's why I think the Jared Cook being a second receiver there will help. If I'm saying Jared Cook's going to be high, I have to say Drew Brees' numbers are still going to be good.
He's still going to be good.
Yes.
It's Drew Brees, yeah. Until he hits that age where he just falls off a cliff, yeah. Because he's had, one major injury his entire career, that ACL when he was in San Diego?
He's not as good as Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he's pretty good.
I'm going to speed this up a little bit because we're running low on time, and I want to get through the next 3 guys. They're 8, 9, and 10. We got Big Ben, we got Jared Goff, we got Phillip Rivers. Eric, you were super high on Rivers.
Yes. I like him more than Ben.
Me and Josh both had Goff at 8. And Josh, you had Big Ben all the way up to 6.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Really?
Josh and Eric, you both had Rivers and Big Ben at 6, respectively. Tell me why. Defend your case.
Go ahead.
Rivers is a beast. What do you have, 35 touchdowns last year? And I like to look at yards per attempt when I'm looking at quarterbacks. And if you look at our boy Phil Rivers here, let me find it.
I'm putting you on the clock, dude. You got like 15 more seconds.
Oh, sorry.
Sitting ready.
Okay, yards per attempt, 8.65. So he's throwing it downfield.
All right, your time's up. Josh, 30 seconds. Go. Big Ben.
Well, I like the offense that Big Ben ran last year. He threw a league-high 675 attempts, which made him finish as the 3rd overall fantasy quarterback. He had a great completion percentage of 67%. He threw for over 5,000 yards, the only quarterback last year to do so. He threw 34 touchdowns. I fully expect Ben to keep throwing it and to keep doing whatever he wants out there now that Todd Haley's out of his hair.
Cool, your time's up.
How many went to Antonio Brown?
I made a great
Exactly. You're not worried about the Antonio Brown of it all?
No, James Washington is in his second year. All Pittsburgh does,
James Washington
That's
is
a
Antonio.
leap of faith right
all
there.
Pittsburgh does is produce great receivers.
So right now when you're talking,
That's all they do.
Right now when you're talking like this, it's like I'm watching one of those sports betting shows, and the dude's over there like just yelling about it, but like laid back, because you hold the pen like a cigarette in your hand. Just
Yeah. All they do is produce great wide receivers.
I'll give you that.
they
So
do.
I
60 minutes.
believe they will
My
find a
fault.
way to make this work.
No, and I see that. I worry about Big Ben because a lot of those numbers went to, like we said, went to AB, and we can say that yes, they're going to replace AB, but the production is going to take a fall. We saw an outlier year with road Big Ben. It was an outlier year. He finally played good on the road for the first time in his career. So do you think that's the norm going forward, or do you think that was just something that happened last year?
No, I think he's going to fall off, obviously, based on my rankings.
Nope.
Okay. And then we had Jared Goff in the middle. I think we're all just like, it's Sean McVay.
He's
Yeah,
slings
Sean
it-
McVay.
he
It's not
slings
Jared
it.
Goff.
He's got great receivers. It's the Sean McVay offense. He's
Yeah.
still got Gurley, although we don't know what he's going to be.
In our Superflex league, I took Blake Bortles because it's Sean McVay offense, and if they think I'm
Sure,
Jared Goff.
why not?
It's
Take
a 16-team super flex league, which is
Yeah.
bananas.
Take
And there's
fire.
no quarterbacks out there.
No, there's not.
Daniel Jones went in the first round. Just saying.
Jarrett Stidham got drafted in the 3rd.
Because you wanted him, and you're like, what the heck?
Yeah, I was like, I'll probably take him in the 4th or 5th. No, he's already snatched.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's great.
All right. I'm going to do the next two guys at 11 and 12, respectively. Baker Mayfield at 11, Brady at 12. Eric, you have Baker at 5. I know me and Josh like him. We have an 11-12 as the low end of QB1.
Going back to the mock draft.
Yeah.
Young
And then
guns, baby.
You're also the highest on Brady at 11, where me and Josh both have him at 14. Explain your Baker love. I don't know.
I mean, what's not to love? He's got Odell. He's got Jarvis Landry. He's got Njoku. He's got Nick Chubb. He's got Kareem Hunt. He's got weapons all over the place. He can run a little bit if he needs to. We know he can sling it. He was the 4th most accurate quarterback down the stretch last year. I think the last 8 games, something like that. Said it on a previous podcast. I love Baker. I think he's going to have a huge year.
Okay. And if anybody hears any baby screaming in the background, sorry.
Oh, and his boy Freddie Kitchens is now the head coach. 2nd year in that offense.
Okay.
Add some wrinkles. Get it rolling.
Right,
I like it.
Josh, I think me and you both like Baker.
I don't
It's
like
a run
him.
first offense.
Yeah, I don't like him that
And-
much.
Yeah, and
He gonna
Drew
sling
Brees is in a run first offense, but it's Drew Brees who's shown us his ridiculousness in the past.
Dak Prescott was better than Baker last year. Just saying.
Yeah, last year.
But
Dak is
is
trash.
On a per game
that
basis,
per game basis? Okay.
he was better. Russell Wilson,
How many games did he have Hugh Jackson
Phillip
for, though?
Rivers, Kirk Cousins better on a per game basis. Tom Brady better on a per game basis.
All right. Speaking of Brady,
Is it a bold prediction? Yes.
Josh
I'm gonna hang my hat on
Allen
it.
better than Baker Mayfield on a per game basis.
Josh Allen's amazing. I love him.
Do you
I
think
thought
Josh
so.
Allen's going to be better than him on a per game basis this
If
year?
he keeps running the way he did, yeah.
Yeah, with smoke out there.
We're not talking about who's the better quarterback. I think Baker's by far the better
I
quarterback.
think he's going to be a better fantasy
But
quarterback.
if
this
Josh Allen continues to run the way that he did last year, he's going to be a better fantasy quarterback than Baker was.
All right. I'm going to
year. I don't
give.
think so.
Yeah, probably not.
So I'm going to go through the rest of the quarterbacks. I'm going to find who was the highest on these guys down here.
Okay.
And you're going to have to defend it. I'll give you 45-ish seconds. Josh, you're going to have Cam Newton.
Oh, easy. Duh.
Eric, you are going to have Mitchell Trubisky. And I will take, even though I didn't have him that high and I hate him, I don't think he's that good, I'll take Jimmy Garoppolo. Josh, go ahead. Give me your Cam.
On a per game basis, Cam Newton would have finished as the 8th quarterback overall. He had the highest completion percentage of his entire career at 67.9. He once again didn't throw for a lot of yards because he didn't need to. He ran for 488 yards. He had 4 rushing touchdowns. He threw for 24 touchdowns, which is almost as much as Aaron Rodgers, and he played 2 less games. So I'm okay with Cam Newton. I think he's going to continue to run the ball. That's part of his game. If not, they gave him better receivers this year to do it. They got rid of Devin Funchess. Christian McCaffrey's going to continue to catch those short passes. Cam's an easy QB1.
All right.
Easy.
I worry about the shoulder injury. Obviously, I worry about the injuries with him. He's taking a lot of beatings. Go ahead with your Mitchell Trubisky.
Trubisky, 2nd year in the offense. He'll have a better grasp on everything. Hopefully he watched some film over the summer. He's not throwing it to the other team quite as much. Don't like that part of his game. However, 7.5 yards per attempt, 24 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns last year, 420 yards rushing. He can run. He can sling it on the run. He's got some decent weapons around there. I think he'll throw it to Cone a little bit more. He's got your boy Trey Burton over there.
And Alshon. So
I just like him better in his 2nd year in the offense.
not Alshon.
Alshon's plays for the Eagles.
Who's their receiver now?
Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson. That's one.
I think he's just going to have a better overall year.
As I said, I was like, wait, they got Brandon Marshall still there?
I think they're going to let him throw it a little bit more.
Sure.
Because they're going to be multidimensional, especially if David Montgomery is the 3-down back they're hoping it will
Well,
be.
we also saw after the bye week that he started throwing the ball more. He started slinging it around more
Yeah.
once he did get more comfortable with the offense.
He was less of a game manager and more of a potential game winner, even though they did lose a lot more.
But that's also because the defense played great, but they would play great in like first halves, and then they would because I think Khalil Mack wasn't.
That whole
conditioned
Khalil Mack
properly.
guy doesn't hurt things very much.
What?
He doesn't really hurt things very much. He's pretty helpful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, saying we saw the Aaron Rodgers game. He was amazing the first half, and then he was winded towards the second half of games because he said all training camp. It happens.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy Garoppolo. I wasn't even that high on him, but he was handpicked by Kyle Shanahan to run that offense. He is their prototypical West Coast offense guy. He was supposed to take over the Patriots. He's got weapons. They're trying to fill weapons around there. He's got Debo. He's got George Kittle, who I think is going to be a number 1 tight end. He's got every running back that no team wanted.
He's got a lot of depth at every skill position.
Yeah.
Minus tight end.
Yeah, and
But
the
he's
wide
got one
receiver,
of the
they're
best in
still
the game.
beefing it up. They said they want Marcus Great One in who's the little Taylor Gabriel role, which I think would be
Interesting.
awesome for him as a fast guy, a smaller guy. Use him as a gadget guy and actually draw some plays up for him because he did not thrive as the 1 last year. But if he can be that guy that they can move around, it'd be a lot better. But the Niners got to stay healthy. Jimmy G has to get out of bounds when you're running the ball.
Yeah.
Don't lower your shoulder and take a hit.
He's handsome, but you got to show me something, Jimmy.
Anybody
super
else you guys
very
want to
high.
bring up? There's a bunch of other quarterbacks out there, and we probably didn't even talk about a quarterback that will end up as a top 10 quarterback next year because
Remember,
Who knows?
Ryan Fitzpatrick has a potential to be a QB1.
oh yeah,
I just want to throw that out there. He is
where
going
did
to
he
be.
finish?
He actually finished as 29, but had.
But he only played like what?
Oh, sorry, he finished at
Well, those
27.
first 4 games were magic, if
But
you will.
he's only started what 7 games.
He finished at 27, but he played 8 games.
Yeah,
Had he actually played a full season and kept that up, he would have finished as the number 5 overall quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
exactly.
I'm
That
just
was
saying.
but that was with Tampa. A
Yes.
few more
Yeah.
weapons there.
Well, I don't know. Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker,
Kenyon
Kenny
Drake's not
Stills, Kenyon Drake. I mean, it could
We'll see.
work.
There was a lot of guys that are very highly talented, and Adam Guest
Who's
said,
their
"More
coach this
poo-poo
year?
in your Jell-O."
Oh, I don't know. The Bill Belichick.
No,
Eric
Miami's coach this year.
Yeah, Bill Belichick's defensive
Defensive
coordinator
coordinator.
from last year.
Yeah,
Nobody can name him, though.
exactly.
Thanks for tuning in to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. Tune in again next week when we talk about wide receivers and my sick aunt. I'm just kidding. I don't have a sick aunt, but I'm sure maybe one of you do. Now, hit me up on Twitter at EmptyWagonFF. Hit me up at FFJoshHughes, at Eric at Gunsofeld19. Brad will be at Tag Jones. Hit us up on Instagram at EmptyWagonPod. We'd like to thank Blue Spade Productions for doing what you do. And, of course, this podcast is brought to you by Tricks. They're not for kids, silly rabbit. They're just for kids, silly rabbit.
Worst clothes ever.
Just shut the hell up. I'm not talking to you. I'm not dealing with you.